again, welcome back to our channel. So today's video is the second episode on our series How to Make Your Relationship Work, and the first episode was on communication, and if you want to watch that video I'll put the link right above here so you can click on it and have a look. One thing we've found so far is every topic that we're going to be dealing with in terms of how to make your relationship work boils right back down to communication. So I will advise you to look at that video again. It's really important that you get communication down. If you can solve and deal with communication in your relationship, everything else will fall into place. But today we're focusing on being each other's cause, that is studying each other so you understand each other better. The first thing we're going to look at is the love language, your love language, and what that means in a relationship. I remember the first time our pastor talked about this at church when he preached about love language, and to be honest with you, it was the first time I'd heard something like that, and it was so intriguing. Love language is basically what is it that makes you feel like your partner loves you.
Some of the things that your partner can do that makes you feel that you mean something special to that person. And it could be a very number of things. And in fact, one of the things that makes it very interesting is the fact that we're all different people, different individuals. We all have our likes and our dislikes. So it can take quite a while to understand what it is that makes your partner tick. And because you are committed to that person, you would make time, you make the effort to find out what those things are. Yeah.
And love language means it can be so many different things. I mean, for someone, just 3 square meal hot on the table every day, that you've ticked the box for them, that's their love language. For someone, it's buying them stuff, and even the buying them stuff is more detailed. With some, flowers it's just enough, and that you've spoken volumes. You've told them in so many different levels that you love them. Whereas someone else will see flowers and think, what's this? But diamond rings or diamond earrings would be like, wow, you must really love me. Yeah, so it's that thing that you do or say or show that makes the other person receive the message of, wow, he loves me. And everyone is different. For me, my love language is the things that you do. It's not really what you buy, but obviously if you buy, the thought to it counts more to me than the actual thing that you've bought. But for me, it's more the things you do. So if I come back from work and I see candlelights everywhere with a spread on the floor for us to just watch a movie, to me that is more than taking me out to a 5-star restaurant. For Paul, I mean, what would you say your love language is?
For me, they are quite simple things. I enjoy eating the food you cook. I do enjoy it when she does prepare meals for us. For me, I do enjoy it when she compliments the way I look. It's like I said, it's very simple things for me. I do enjoy when she does say things like that. You look good, or when I trim my hair like I have now, and she throws me those compliments here and there. I do enjoy it, and when she recognizes my efforts as well. I like that a lot. So that those as small as they are, like she has said, speaks volumes for me. Yeah.
The thing is, how do you then find out what the person likes, what the person recognizes as you showing love to them? It's more studying them, and you'd have to study them over a period of time, a week, 2 weeks at a time. Just watch them do different things and see how they react to them. You over time you will know when the excitement in their face when you do particular things compared to others, and that will tell you that, when I said to her that she looks beautiful, she lit up compared to when I just looked at her. you know, when I just looked at her. She noticed the look, but the difference in her when I actually said it was really clear.
Yeah, it was like a light bulb effect kind of thing.
Exactly.
And it like MaryAnn said, it takes a while to study the person. Sometimes you might try things and it may not work. You might even get a response directly opposite of what you were hoping for. But you just need to keep at it, be patient. And in all of this as well, whilst you are giving yourself to study that person, it's very important that you don't forget yourself. Take care of yourself as well, you know. And at the end of the day, it's when you make someone else happy, you find your happiness in that. And it's true for every other part of life. True happiness comes when you make other people happy. Yeah.
So with studying as well and picking up what your partner likes, it's also very important to take note of what they don't like. And what you'll find as well is a lot of the time what they don't like is probably what you like, right? So you're imposing what you would want done for yourself to them. So for example, where Paul is more auditory in the sense that he likes to say, you know, oh, you look nice, or I like this, or I like that, or I love you, not all those auditory things. He does that a lot more. But like I said before, for me it's more what you do than what you say. So he is doing what he would want to receive because he is auditory. Alright, so that's sort of him imposing what he would want to do. And vice versa as well. He is auditory, but I don't say it enough. Right? Because I'm not auditory. Yeah. So we really need to take note of what our partner don't react to as much, you know, and try and change it and recognize when we are imposing what we would like to receive. I mean, a typical example is a friend of mine who she is completely auditory. Like, she likes to hear, you look beautiful. She likes to hear, I liked your food. You know, she likes to hear, well done, and things like that. I love you, and, you know, writing, you know, she likes, you know, a letter, you know, so that she can read and things like that. Whereas her partner is more touching, like he is smacking her on the bum, touching, wants to hold hands and things like that. And she doesn't like that. So he is imposing on her what he would like to receive, which is the touching and the holding of hands and the kissing in public. And she doesn't like that. And she is imposing what she would like to receive, which is the auditory. So they both need to stop and take note of what's not working, right? And learn to get out of their comfort zone to actually give what the partner needs, and vice versa.
You may need to teach your partner what you like, just so that they are aware. Because if we leave the studying bits to them, obviously they won't get it right first time. They might not even get it right second, third, fourth time. So that would mean that you might need to, you know, step out and say, okay, honey, I like this, I like this, I like this, or I don't like this, or yeah, you're doing this way, but if you tweak it here and tweak it there, then that will also work. So you might need to step out and also say, this is what I like, or this is what I don't like.
Yeah, and when they do tell you, listen. Yeah, listen and do it, because it will only serve best for the two of you in the long run. You know, if you learn to do what your partner likes and vice versa, then you can only be happy. Yeah, so listen and take it on board. Don't just brush it off and just, you're too fussy, or you're touchy,
or let it be an ego kind of thing.
Yeah,
I know we the men, it can be funny, it can sometimes when these things come across, it can hit at our ego, but you know, when it's coming from our partner like that, like Maria said, you know, it has taken a lot of courage for her to come to you to say that. So respect that, meet her where she is, and just take, because it's all a learning process. If we don't learn, then that'll be it. And
it comes back to, you know, loving the person. You know, you've made that decision to be together for long term. So, you know, it only, you know, like I've already said, it's only for your own good if you do what will make them happy, and if they're doing the same for you, it just everything just comes together.
Yeah.
So the next thing to talk about in terms of studying each other is to study each other's weaknesses. Right? So if you know what your partner is weak at, then you can support them to grow and be better. So for example, I know that between us, I am the organizer. You know, there's no point me getting upset, or there's no point me getting frustrated, which I do. It's, you know, you can't help it, but there's no point getting frustrated knowing that Paul is not as organized as I would like him to be. So it's recognizing that, accepting it, managing it. All right, so seeing, okay, what can I do to support Paul to be more organized?
Or what if I can't do the organizing bit? Is there anything else that I can do? So that, because it's a whole project, even if it's just waking up in the morning to get the kids ready, that in itself is a project by itself. So if there's something she's doing with regards to organization, is there something else I can do so that one, it saves us time, two, saves us energy, and by energy is emotional and physical as well, especially if you're going out. So that minimizes the amount of frustration you feel or you might feel, and just ensures that things get done when they should be done.
Yeah, so it's like a puzzle, isn't it? Puzzle pieces are not the same shape, but they fit together. All right, so where he falls short, I fill the gap. Where I fall short, he fills the gap, and that's how it should be. So, you know, instead of spending all your energy getting frustrated about the shortfalls, find ways to fit better together.
And also that leads into the other side, you know, finding out what their strengths are, finding out what the strengths of your partner is. Is there any way you can, you know, play to that strength? Is there any way that you can, you know, make it better? Is a strength because they thrive in that particular area. So if they thrive in that area, okay, all right, you do this or you do this. You know, it's just about both of you coming to a compromise to say, okay, this is what this person is going to do, this is what this person is going to do, and celebrate each other as well. Celebrate your strengths
in the areas where there's room for improvement as well. Obviously, if you've identified it, you can support each other to grow in those areas. If you think about it, you are a sum of what you know. So what you've learned as you were growing up, what your parents have taught you, what you've learned in school, what you've learned in your workplace, and so on and so forth, that is what you know. So when you come together as a couple, you both have things that you know. So you know, one can teach the other the bits that they don't, you know, they haven't learned or they've never come across. And there's always something to learn from each other. So, and that, you know, that comes back to studying each other and patiently supporting the other person to grow in the areas that you are strong in. And if there are areas they can't grow in, then you fill the gap. So it's just balancing all that.
Differences. Having differences in a relationship is actually a beautiful thing. People shouldn't see this as a threat. You know, if the whole world was uniform, or you have two people in a relationship where we both can do the same thing, it will get to a point.
Boring,
it will be very boring. It will get to a point where there will be conflict because one will think I can do this better and stuff like that. You know, there will be competition. But you see, when there are differences, it should be celebrated. It makes that union and relationship very beautiful and very powerful as well. If those differences can be managed. And
if you're the same, then why be together? Because you're not adding any value to me, because we're exactly the same. But if you're different, then you can only add to each other. Right. So the last thing that we're going to look at with regards to studying each other is getting to know each other's passions, each other's desires, aspirations, where you want to go in life. It's very important that you know the journey that your partner is going on in life. You've come together as a couple, as a union, but before you came together, you were walking on a path, isn't it? You were walking towards something that you wanted to achieve, and that doesn't or shouldn't stop because you've come together. So it's really important to study, find out, communicate, find out from each other, where are you going? Where do you want to go? asking certain questions. What do you want in life? If there was something you could change in your life, what would that be? So that way, if you know what your partner wants, where they're going, then you can support them in achieving that goal. And also it helps to make decisions as a couple, whether it's financial decisions, what area you're going to live in, all of those things. Those decisions are then easier to make because you know exactly where you want to go and you know exactly where your partner wants to go. And then you have a plan, a 1 year, 5 year, 10-year plan of steps to take because you know exactly where you want to end.
And those goals as well, like I said initially, even if you don't have, it's still all right. Wherever you are right now, just gauge and reevaluate where you are. Try to understand the other person's plans and visions and stuff like that, and then you find a way. You can plug in, and both of you work together as a team. The fact that the other person doesn't have a plan shouldn't be an opportunity for you to rub yours over the other person. Just find a way to work together. Let it not be a competition. Let it not be demeaning the other person and making light of the fact that they have no plan as such.
Yeah, and it's encouraging that out of them as well, teasing it out. Like I said before, what would you, if you could change something about your life, what would that be? And if it's getting into a professional career, for example, then you can start encouraging them to go back to school if need be. So yeah, it's just looking at things like that and seeing how you can support each other.
I'm laughing because
don't start complimenting me again.
Well, I remember a time when
I think I failed my driving tests like 2 times or 3 times, and of course I knew I had to drive. The job I was doing at that time needed me to be on the road. I was scared, and my morale was grounded. We were talking about this, but what Mary did was she actually went and registered me for the tests, and then she told me that it's done, it's registered. So the onus was on me to sit down and study and prepare for the test, and we did it together. And that test, that was the last test I had to do, to excel, to be able to eventually get the driver license and be able to drive to work and stuff like that. So it's just being aware of what's going on for your partner. You, like Mary said, you tease out those information from them, ask questions, and be observant. Sometimes you need to step back, sometimes you need to step forward and gently nudge your partner to go or to have those thoughts or to have those conversations. By the end of the day, it all works together, to propel the both of you forward.
Yeah, because if he succeeds, I succeed. Yeah, and if I succeed, he succeeds because we're together. So it only benefits you to support your partner as much as you can.
Yeah. And also, in terms of also studying your partner, it's also a good idea to be interested in the things they're interested in. So a very popular example is the issue of football. You have a lot of the males who are interested in watching football, and the females will tell you, oh no, I don't want to, I'm not interested in sports, I don't like this and this and this. And then you might even find a few people who think, oh, he loves this sport more than I do, more than he loves me, but you see, the love for that sport or for that interest, he may have had it before both of you got into a relationship, or he may have developed it even whilst you were in a relationship and stuff like that. Or you see, as part of studying the other person, you are committed to that person, you're committed to the success, you're committed to the things that pertain to them. So if you are in that category, then I can only encourage you to also be interested in the things that I'm interested in. If they're interested in news, sit down, watch the news together, discuss what's going on around in the economy today, what's happening in the world. If your partner is an Arsenal fan, I am, then find out what's the name of the manager of the club, what are the players, the nitty-gritty about or tidbits about the players and stuff like that. If your partner is also into cooking, once in a while find yourself in the kitchen, all those things also help to improve the communication and the states of your relationship. When you find out that you'll be happy a lot of the times, it will help in conversation. Even when things, you need to bring up something or discuss something that is very difficult and heavy, being in that atmosphere will enable you discuss or have those difficult conversations.
Well, we hope that you found value in what we've talked about today. It's very important to study each other and get to know each other better. Our next video will be posted on Tuesday, and we're going to be looking at trust between a couple. Okay, so don't miss that video, and the only way you won't miss it is to hit that subscribe button and notification bell. All right, so until then, we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.